Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the Formula One. So y'all check this out. Well, when you're talking Formula One, you're talking legends, then you can't get past a few names. You know what I'm saying? When you got legends, I'm talking about the baddest ones that ever drove. You got the, Fangio. You go way back to him, back when there was only about 4 or 5 cars. But hey, Fangio. You got Alan Prost. You definitely got Art and Senna, right? You got them. You can't forget 7-time champion Michael Schumacher, right? Michael Schumacher, for depending on where you at, right? And you got the other ones that's in there too, right? But them super heavyweights. I don't want to mention the ones that won 1 or 2 titles, But those are the baddest ones. And currently, the baddest dude is Sir Lewis Hamilton. 7-time champ, got the most pole position, got the most of everything really right now. It's only him and Michael Schumacher that got most of these records, right? So, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, right? Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying sir because you ain't, if you in England and you a sir, you done something and you done it for a long time. They don't give nobody sir after one, one successful event or one, win on something. You got to do it for a period of time because it's sir. We ain't just gonna be calling the king and queen up in here and giving somebody some sir. So Sir Lewis Hamilton, because I've been winning for a while, 7-time champ. Bottom line, but after last year, the way that final ended on that last lap that he was surpassed and your boy Max Verstappen was able to get some new tires under controversial circumstances, Lewis Hamilton was fed up. And it looked like he wasn't going to drive anymore. Now I knew you ain't going to just go get 7 titles and then almost get 8. Now he was 8, he would have had the most titles in history. Him and Michael Schumacher are tied. So he got 1 lap away from being the very best driver of all time and with no questions. So I think he's probably give it a year or 2 to try that again. Now, the problem we're going to have is the cars have changed. Right? The car is going to be totally overhauled this year. We got to see who's going to be in the front. It's not no, foregone conclusion that Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari will be in the front. Haas might mess around and come up on you. You don't know what's going to happen. So let's just see. But the big budget teams seem to get it together, even if it takes them with upgrades during the course of the season. So things can happen. But here's the deal, right? Lewis had to deal with losing in the last lap to Max Verstappen. Now, I know he knows now how it felt because Lewis Hamilton has won a title in the last lap. Ask your Brazilian friend Ruben Barrichello. And Ruben Barrichello, they was all, at the last lap, they were already celebrating. Lewis came back to handle his business and he won the championship. And it was, even though I'm going for Lewis Hamilton, it was sad to see for Rubens Barrichello because Rubens Barrichello was always the number 2 driver in his team. He was driving with Michael Schumacher for a long time, and if you drive with Michael Schumacher, you like we're saying boxing, you're a B-side. You're a number 2 driver, and hey, I think wasn't it Rubens Barrichello who your boy John Todt told, let him pass for the championship. You know what I'm saying? So they would let one person win in that team, and Rubens Barrichello, so he had an opportunity. And, I like to see number 2 drivers do well. I just do, And in most sports, underdogs, I'm with them. So it was hard to watch, but it was like also a young Lewis Hamilton handling his business and getting a title and stuff. And I seen Lewis Hamilton as a rookie come in there and duel the best driver in the field at the time, which would have been Fernando Alonso. He came as a rookie and was able to get the exact same amount of points as Fernando Alonso in his first season with McLaren Mercedes. So at that point, I knew he was awesome. Now, my favorite drivers of all time is not Lewis Hamilton yet, right? When he finishes or whatever, it's the same thing with Venus Williams and Serena Williams. Then my homegirls come from Compton and everything. But my favorite player is Monica Seles in tennis. Monica Seles, because of what happened to her and what I knew I saw that Steffi Graf was the baddest one by far at the time, and Monica Seles came in and started beating Steffi Graf and helped everybody else to get rid of their fear. It was huge to see Monica Seles, if you lived through that, to come in and challenge Steffi Graf's dominance. Well, I like drivers that do that. And I saw when Michael Schumacher was just extremely dominant and people, wouldn't even barely pass him and stuff. So I liked people like Juan Pablo Montoya, my favorite driver ever, with Jacques Villeneuve. Those are my favorite Formula One drivers. They have a IndyCar background, which means we ain't coming to Formula One and having parades and just waving at people. We trying to pass whoever the best one is, and that's why Max Verstappen is in my top 5 of all time who I like. Because when he came in as what, was it 19 years old or even younger, he wasn't driving behind people. He came in there raising hell. Max Verstappen don't care, man. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna say cheat, but he don't give a damn how he wins. Let's put it like that, and never has. I like people like that in the Formula One, because Formula One, that's why I don't watch Monte Carlo. I watch Monte Carlo, the qualifying at Monte Carlo. After that, the race, I watch the beginning, and then I'm done, because basically it turns into a parade. You can't pass nobody. Why do we even have, routes, or, tracks that you don't pass on? And when we're talking about racing, just don't call it racing, call it a parade. We're just letting sponsors go by. So I'm not really a Monaco, even though I know it's a traditional race. It does not one of my favorites, right? Not to watch, right? I like them to go through the tunnel, but ain't nobody being passed in there. We're just going through a damn tunnel with one lane in it. That don't make no sense. But whatever. It's Formula One. I love Formula One no matter what. So I'm going to keep watching it. But at the end of the season, Max Verstappen, who I like, right, was able to pass Lewis Hamilton, and I know that Lewis Hamilton was a little bit upset about that, so I wasn't sure that he was going to drive back. But for the good of Formula One, and for the good of rivalries, right, for the good of us watching it to see legendary things happen, right? We still got Federer in there, and we want to see Federer get a good car, because Federer still can drive. He's just not have a good car. He's a 4-time champ. There's a good scenario. You got a 4-time champ in there, you got a 7-time champ in there, and now Max Verstappen, who's a 1-time champ. And your boy Leclerc ain't going to be trying to drive behind too many people either if you give him a good competitive car. So let's see what happens. I just think it's really interesting to note that Lewis Hamilton will be driving, which means, damn it, we can watch the Formula One, and it's going to be going down. I am going to wish him the best, because I didn't do a video about that. One of the guys came in, one of my cynical guys, came in, well, where's the damn Formula One video? You know what I'm talking about. I know you, dog. It's cool. You've been here for a while, so I got much love for you. Where's your Formula One videos? I think he was probably alluding to me not doing one because Max Verstappen won. I was happy for Max Verstappen, but I wasn't happy for Lewis Hamilton, and I was not happy of how that happened. But I did understand that Lewis Hamilton could not protest that, right? Because then the win would be tainted. Right? And I'm just kind of not really, cool with brothers not protesting, right, when things ain't right. I didn't like Deontay Wilder in boxing not protesting what happened to him with Tyson Fury. Stuff like that irks you. You have to protest just like they will, right? So that kind of irked me, but I knew it was, you better just leave it alone. If his Toto Wolff, the manager, the boss from Mercedes, if he decided, and they decided not to do something, and I decided just leave it alone. But I knew if I would have done a video immediately, it probably would have been a little bit too hard. So I just left it alone. You know what I'm saying? So now it's a few, months in between, and I can come back and address that. Bottom line, I wish Lewis Hamilton well. I wish he becomes 8-time champion, right? But I wish the other guys. And matter of fact, if some car from way in the back started winning, I would have no problem with that. Because the only thing I don't like about the Formula One, as opposed to IndyCar, which I don't watch much of, but, in Formula One, it's only always, never more than 3 people or 4 people that can win the damn race. Barring everybody having an accident at the beginning, right? Them dudes starting at 8th and 9th ain't winning, period. And that's the only thing I don't really like, because the budgets, there's no salary cap. What it is now, but some people have more money than others, and they are able to maneuver, and have their cars are just better, right? So that's the only thing I don't like about it. But let me stop ranting about that. Bottom line is, Lewis Hamilton going to be there this year. Let's see what he's able to accomplish. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm out of here, y'all.